Dawn breaks over the Persian Gulf, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, the sun's first light casting a golden glow on the tranquil waters, promising a new day. The gentle ripples reflect the vibrant colors, creating a mesmerizing dance of light and shadow. Fishermen begin their day, mending their nets with practiced hands, preparing for the morning's catch. But their routine is abruptly interrupted by the stark silhouette of warships appearing on the horizon, a silent intrusion into their age-old way of life. The distant shapes grow larger, a sign of something significant approaching. These are not ordinary vessels, they are symbols of power and strategic importance. They are U.S. warships, bristling with advanced weaponry and cutting-edge technology, a clear display of military might. Every inch of these vessels speaks of readiness and strength. Their presence is a stark sign of shifting times and geopolitical tensions simmering beneath the surface. The presence of these steel giants is both awe-inspiring in their scale and unsettling in their purpose, a reminder of the forces at play in this vital region. It's a stark reminder that peace here is fragile, a delicate balance constantly tested by global events. Local fishermen, who were once alone, masters of their domain on these ancient waters, now share their fishing grounds with the imposing machinery of global power, a constant reminder of the world beyond their daily lives. For travelers and observers alike, the juxtaposition is striking and thought-provoking, ancient traditions and simple livelihoods unfolding under the watchful, ever-present eyes of modern militaries. The region's timeless beauty remains, a constant source of wonder, but it's now framed by an undercurrent of tension and uncertainty, a subtle shift in the atmosphere. Every journey across these historically significant waters is inevitably shadowed by the weight of geopolitics. The adventure is no longer just about the thrill of discovery and exploration, but also about carefully navigating the invisible lines of control and influence that crisscross the region. The presence of these warships transforms the seascape into a complex chessboard of strategic positioning, and every traveler, whether they realize it or not, becomes a cautious piece in a high-stakes game of international relations. The timeless allure of the Gulf endures, drawing visitors with its rich history and stunning vistas. But so does the sobering reality of potential conflict, a constant undercurrent in this strategically vital waterway. The journey is now as much about understanding and acknowledging the inherent risks, as it is about freely exploring the breathtaking natural wonders and cultural treasures that the Persian Gulf has to offer. In these contested waters, beauty and potential danger sail side by side, a constant reminder of the complex realities of the modern world. To truly grasp the tensions simmering beneath the surface today, to understand the undercurrents that shape every interaction and decision, we must look back to June 22, 2025. This date marks a pivotal moment, a turning point that continues to reverberate throughout the region and beyond. It was on this day that the U.S. launched Operation Midnight Hammer, a highly controversial and intensely debated military action. Under cover of night's cloak, shielded from prying eyes and the glare of international scrutiny, stealth bombers, silent and deadly, along with a barrage of precision-guided cruise missiles, struck Iran's most sensitive nuclear facilities. The primary targets included Fordow, a site deeply embedded within a mountain, Natanz, a sprawling complex dedicated to uranium enrichment, and Isfahan, a research and development hub for nuclear technology. The arsenal deployed was immense, with over 400,000 pounds of explosives unleashed upon these targets, including specialized bunker-buster bombs designed to penetrate deep underground and obliterate hardened facilities. These targeted sites had long been shrouded in controversy, suspected of being central to a clandestine nuclear weapons program. The world watched with bated breath, glued to their screens, as the U.S. government justified the strikes as a preemptive and necessary move, arguing it was essential to halt Iran's alleged nuclear weapons ambitions and prevent a catastrophic escalation. Washington was quick to insist that the operation wasn't about regime change or overthrowing the government, but Tehran vehemently condemned the attack, viewing it as a grave violation of its sovereignty and a blatant act of aggression, vowing swift and decisive retaliation. The operation was, in many ways, the culmination of years of escalating tensions, a dangerous dance of brinkmanship, crippling economic sanctions, and a series of proxy clashes fought on battlefields across the Middle East. while Iran's leaders publicly downplayed the extent of the damage, denying any major setbacks to their nuclear program, they privately seethed, promising severe consequences for the US and its allies in the region. The region now stands precariously on edge, a powder keg waiting for a spark, the air thick with uncertainty and the looming threat of further escalation. For travelers venturing into this region, these imposing warships are not merely part of the scenery or a backdrop to their vacation, they serve as a stark reminder of the geopolitical realities, the direct and tangible result of that single world-shaking night. The new status quo is fragile and precarious, balanced on a knife's edge, and the crisis, far from being resolved, is ongoing with no clear end in sight. The spark of conflict has been ignited, setting the stage for potential widespread instability. The world now waits with bated breath, anxiously monitoring the situation to see just how far the flames of this fire will ultimately spread. Every journey undertaken in this region is now indelibly shaped by the long-lasting aftermath and the lingering consequences of that fateful operation. The U.S. Navy's presence in the Gulf is nothing new, but its current scale is unprecedented. 18 warships, including 2 aircraft carriers, now patrol these waters, a clear deterrent to Iran. For travelers, the Gulf feels transformed. Open seas now resemble a militarized zone. Commercial ships and ferries navigate tightly controlled corridors, watched by radar and missile defense systems. Naval exercises and security threats can reroute or delay journeys at a moment's notice. U.S. destroyers have already intercepted Iranian missiles, turning the sea into a potential combat zone. The sense of freedom is replaced by the reality of immense military power. Even simple pleasures like dolphin watching are now set against the backdrop of guided missile destroyers. Border crossings are stricter, and every official's question carries new weight. The sea, once a symbol of connection, now feels like a guarded frontier. Travelers must navigate not just geography, but the ever-present shadow of conflict. The Navy's gaze is constant, a reminder that peace here is fragile and fiercely protected. The Strait of Hormuz is a narrow lifeline. Nearly a fifth of the world's oil passes through its waters. Once a place of wonder for travelers, it's now a flashpoint, patrolled by U.S. and allied navies. Iran's threats to close the strait in response to U.S. strikes have global markets on edge. Any disruption here could trigger a worldwide crisis. Tourists still come for Musandam's fjords and dolphin tours, but tension is ever present. Warships on the horizon are a constant reminder of the region's volatility. Travel plans can change instantly, with operators in constant contact with authorities. The dream of exploring this unique region is now shadowed by the risk of conflict. The strait remains a choke point, not just for oil but for the hopes of travelers drawn to its beauty. Every journey here is a balance between adventure and caution. The shockwaves from Operation Midnight Hammer hit wallets worldwide. Oil prices surged, and with them, the cost of travel. Airfares climbed as airlines faced higher fuel costs, making distant trips less affordable. Cruise ships, tour buses, and rental cars all became more expensive as fuel prices rose. Even the price of hotels and food in far-off destinations crept upward, squeezed by global inflation. The conflict in the Gulf may seem distant, but its economic impact is immediate and personal. Travelers now rethink plans, choosing closer destinations or delaying trips altogether. The dream of adventure is tempered by the reality of rising costs and uncertainty. Every travel budget now includes a hidden geopolitical tax. The events in the Middle East are a stark reminder. Conflict anywhere can reshape travel everywhere. For many, the world feels just a bit smaller and more expensive than before. The ripple effect of war reaches every corner of the globe. Imagine for a moment that you are Alex, a young and intrepid backpacker, eager to explore and navigating the complexities of the Gulf states. You've dreamt of experiencing the rich culture and vibrant history, but the reality on the ground is proving to be more challenging than anticipated. This is a journey in the shadow of Operation Midnight Hammer. Borders that were once relatively easy to cross, offering a seamless transition between countries, are now heavily fortified, transformed into imposing barriers, with stern-faced soldiers and seemingly endless lines of people waiting patiently at every single checkpoint. The questions from border officials are probing and persistent, digging deeper than just your travel itinerary, and a palpable sense of suspicion hangs heavy in the air, thick enough to cut with a knife, making every border crossing a tense and unnerving experience. In the bustling cities, the change is subtle, almost imperceptible, but undeniably real. The once lively cafes are noticeably quieter and conversations are hushed, almost conspiratorial, with news updates flashing constantly on everyone's devices. The locals are more reserved and guarded, casting wary glances at foreigners in this time of heightened uncertainty. Travel plans are frequently disrupted, ferries are suspended without notice, roads are unexpectedly closed, and there are persistent rumors of increased surveillance watching your every move. Every decision you make, where to go next, and the best way to get there, now requires a careful and thorough risk assessment. The inherent joy of discovery is now perpetually shadowed by the heavy weight of geopolitics and regional instability. The journey, of course, continues onward, but the carefree spontaneity of travel is now replaced by a pervasive sense of caution. For today's travelers, the Middle East is now, more than ever, a complex world defined by ubiquitous checkpoints and hushed whispers. The enduring spirit of adventure still flickers, but the landscape of travel is forever changed, perhaps irrevocably. Every single step forward is a delicate negotiation, a constant balancing act between unbridled curiosity and necessary caution. The region's undeniable allure and beauty still beckon, but so too does the ever-present underlying sense of potential risk. This is what travel looks like in the new Middle East. Resilient, yes, but also irrevocably altered by recent events. Despite the tension, the Middle East's soul endures. This is the cradle of civilization, where history and resilience run deep. Life continues with quiet dignity, families gather, merchants open shops, and traditions persist. The true heart of the region is found in everyday moments: a shared meal, a welcoming smile, the scent of frankincense in a bustling souk. Hospitality remains, even as caution grows. Travelers discover hope in these simple interactions, realizing that the desire for peace is universal. The resilience of the people is inspiring, a testament to the enduring power of culture over conflict. Here, heritage outlasts headlines, and the human spirit perseveres. In the Middle East, life's rhythms continue, undaunted by the shadow of war. Even as conflict looms, the region's beauty shines through. The desert's golden dunes, the rugged Hajar mountains, and hidden wadis offer moments of awe and peace. Nature's grandeur puts human drama in perspective. These landscapes have seen empires rise and fall. Travelers find solace in the timelessness of the land and the artistry of its people. Islamic architecture, vibrant souks, and intricate crafts are testaments to a culture that values beauty. Seeking out these wonders requires looking beyond headlines and checkpoints. It's about engaging with the world on a human level, finding light amidst the shadows. Even in uncertainty, there are countless reasons for wonder. The resilience of beauty is a quiet act of defiance. In a world on edge, awe and hope endure. The world watches the Middle East with uncertainty, but travel here is not off limits. It just demands a new approach. Cautious travel means staying informed, prioritizing safety, and being ready to adapt plans as situations change. Conscious travel goes deeper, understanding history, supporting local communities, and respecting traditions. Every tourist dollar can empower those most affected by instability. Travel, at its best, builds bridges and fosters empathy, even if it can't solve conflicts. We can choose to turn away, or we can engage thoughtfully and responsibly. Let's choose the latter. Stay informed, travel safely, and seek out the enduring beauty and humanity of our world. In every journey, there's a chance to witness resilience and hope. The world is complicated, but travel remains a force for connection. Let's keep exploring, wisely and with open hearts.